Steelhead trout are the same species as the rainbow trout, except steelhead trout are the anadromous form, meaning seagoing. They migrate up rivers from the sea to spawn. Steelheads have been known to jump 11 feet into the air when climbing falls on migration runs, and can go from 0 to 25 miles per hour in 1 second. The offspring of two steelhead parents may become a purely freshwater form, and the offspring of two freshwater resident forms of rainbow trout might evolve into the anadromous form of a rainbow trout, called the steelhead. Unlike most salmon, which are semelparous, meaning they die after spawning, steelhead are idioparous. They do not die after spawning, but only 10% of adults survive the dangers of river and ocean life to return to spawn again. Ever since humans inhabited what is now California, salmonids have been a source of food. Some Native American groups took the salmon as their clan animal and considered the salmon population to be a kind of tribe in itself. Steelhead can live up to 11 years, reaching sizes up to 20 pounds. If they are able, adult steelhead will return every year to the place of their birth to spawn. They make their journey upstream in the winter or the summer, depending on river access, flow rate, and other conditions. In spawning season, males, called bucks, lose their silvery ocean-going skin color and develop a greener coloration with a bright red stripe down their side. Bucks also develop a more pronounced lower jaw, called a kype, which is used to establish dominance hierarchies at the breeding ground. Females produce between 2,000 and 3,000 eggs per kilogram of weight. The female prepares a nesting site for the eggs, known as a redd, by beating her tail against the gravel. In 4 to 7 weeks, the eggs hatch, and the tiny alevin, or sac fry, emerge. These alevin carry a small yolk sac with them, which they consume in about 2 weeks. Once the yolk sac is gone, the young steelhead are called fry, and they begin feeding on tiny river-dwelling organisms like plankton. As the steelhead grow, they begin to develop black bars along their sides, known as parr marks. Because of the vertical banding, juvenile steelhead that have entered this stage are often called parr. They are sometimes called fingerlings because they're about the size of your finger. The rate of growth of the parr is determined mostly by their habitat, the temperature of the water, and the available food resources. Steelhead are predators and will eat just about anything small enough to fit in their mouth, including small fish and fish eggs, shrimp, and other crustaceans. However, their main food source is the aquatic larvae and nymphs of a variety of insect species, including stoneflies and mayflies. A steelhead parr will remain in its river habitat for 1 to 3 years. Then it will smolt. Smoltification is the biological process by which young steelhead become physically capable of living in salt water. The body changes to become larger, the coloration more silvery, and the gills and other internal organs change in order to allow the fish to move from freshwater into a completely saltwater environment. Once the parr has smolted, which usually occurs between mid-April and the end of May, it's ready to swim out to sea and begin its life as an adult steelhead, eventually starting the life cycle over again. Looking for a fun activity to do? Well, on the Pacific Grove Museum, the Museum to You page, there is a steelhead game that you can print out called Steelhead Survival. In this game, you're a steelhead trout trying to migrate to the ocean and back to complete your life cycle before the rest of your school. All you'll need is 1 printout of the board game, 1 dice, and 1 game piece of your choice. I hope you complete the life cycle.